Welcome to It All Boils Down to This, the podcast where father and son take the kitchen table arguments and heated discussions from their home directly to yours. Jim and Jack Boyle will explore the world as only they can. We might even let a few guests join the fun. So sit back, choose a side, watch the water temperature rise, and enjoy stimulating generational conversation about sports and life. All right, Core Discord bringing us in on our 51st show. It all boils down to this. I'm Jim Boyle. Jack Boyle with me. He's got the audio going. Just want to make a special mention. Yesterday was Jack's 25th birthday. We got to celebrate. He got some brownies made. He's enjoying his life, really living large. We got a lot to get over today because we got picks, we got NFL, we got CFB. I did want to talk about the Red Sox season. Picks for the World Series, the Red Sox Celtics are back.
Why is this camera? We got all camera changes in here. I guess this one's my camera now up here. I got a different camera today.
Yeah, you got no. I don't know what camera.
I feel like a Shaq in the TNT studios. What camera am I looking at? This one's all off over here because this
that
angle
one doesn't work.
Yeah, okay.
That one doesn't work right here.
That's my normal camera. Which one?
No, that is not.
Have you ever seen those Shaq videos?
Yes.
Where it's like Shaq. He's like, which camera? Which camera?
Yes, I've seen the Shaq videos, and we are very amateur. We did have Maria. I do want to give a shout out to Maria early in the program because as she was leaving, she did pick Michigan to beat USC last week, and she was dead on. So that'll lead us into college football.
That's a really good. That's a bold pick.
That was a huge pick. She said she's not going to make any more picks because she's 100%. She's stopping. So
that's a good way to gamble. I mean, you just make one bet. Yeah, never lost.
Congratulations to Maria.
See, that would have been. That's almost like me. I had one at bat varsity baseball.
If you had gotten a hit,
and if I had gotten a hit, I would have been it would have been awesome. But no, I popped out to second base, so whatever.
That's life. That's the way life works. Hey, real. We're going to do college football. So I do want to look at last weekend first. What do we have from Kevin?
Well, wait. Well, let's talk college. Then we'll get Kevin in because he's got a bunch of stuff. I asked him a few things. I think he might have had hopefully he has a little bit of like Arsenal stuff in there.
Okay, I forgot.
I honestly, Arsenal. You know what? I didn't ask him if we could play his videos or some of his videos. You know what we should have done? We shouldn't even have him call in. I should have just played. You know what? I'm going to text him right now. I should have just played his videos after that game. They had a heartbreaking loss, so it's funny. And we'll talk about that at the end of the podcast. But I want to start. So you sent me all these games. We're going to start with Friday night because that was the game I cared about the most. Nebraska goes down to Illinois.
I have that first on my list. Nebraska, Illinois.
I'll ask you first. You're the Matt Rule hater on this podcast.
I am not a Matt. First off, timeout. I'm not Matt Rule hater.
Okay, answer this question with all honesty. There was a part of you that was happy when you woke up, or when you woke up and saw that they lost in overtime.
The reason
yes or no? Yep.
The reason I'd be happy.
Yeah, it's a yes.
It would piss you off. It has nothing to do with Matt Rule. It has to do with you.
Okay.
Nothing to do with
You're
Matt
against
Rule.
us. You went against the family. You're against us.
No.
You're out. No, you're out.
I'm not against that.
No, you are out.
I'm glad they lost in a sense because you're a pain in my ass. Go.
Random thing. No, I'll wait till the end. So yeah, that Nebraska, it sucked. They're not as good as I thought they were. They're not as tough as I thought they were. That's basically what Matt Rule said. Their toughness, their defense isn't that good. They've thrown 2 interceptions now where the receivers get the ball stripped out of them. It wasn't enough. Illinois, their quarterback, I should know his name. Phenomenal. He played phenomenal. Four touchdowns, I think. No turnovers. He was brilliant. Again, Nebraska should have won the game. Raiola had the guy in the end zone, would have ended the game, or they would have won the game in regulation. Their overtime was an embarrassment. It sucks, but we'll move on, and we'll keep winning. I'm still a Nebraska fan. That was a bump. I thought we were a year ahead of schedule. We're not. So, you know what? We'll go try to win 10 games.
I love the we part of that, Mr. Cornhusker.
No, I'm here.
I got to get you one of those overalls.
I'll take it.
The
red for sure. I'll wear
overalls
that.
That the big Cornhuskers wear. I think Illinois is still 19th, so again, they're going to hit the Big Ten schedule. Nebraska will be lucky to lose. If they would lose 3 games, I think that would be their floor. I think their ceiling for losers is 5 or 6. They don't really have a tough schedule.
No, not really.
Not really. So what else did you have? What's next on our list? Fun games.
I don't know. So I just had all the games. So Texas killed UL Monroe, obviously.
Okay, let's look at that one.
No, who cares?
Arch didn't play well at all, though.
Oh, he didn't? Well, again, the Ewers kid's not that hurt, so he's going to... So, again, the Arch thing's...
Right.
It'll be next year.
What about...
Because Ewers isn't actually hurt. Ohio State ended up beating Marshall. They struggled a bit early. Ohio State's got all the talent. Ole Miss killed Georgia Southern. Who cares? Tennessee, Oklahoma is the next one that's really good. Tennessee looks good. They do.
That was Chris's pick, right? -7. Tennessee looks real good. I'm just impressed, honestly, as I look at the top 10 here. Texas, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, Ole Miss, all in the top 10, all in the top 8, or all in the top 6. 5 of the top 6. The only team that's not SEC is Ohio State. So, Ole Miss is playing great. Tennessee looks good. Oklahoma looks shit.
Yeah. Didn't I say that? And again, I did win my law because I went against Kevin. But didn't I say that Oklahoma? I've been saying all year from watching that Temple game, Oklahoma's not that good. And Tennessee beat them. I think it was worse than 10 points. It ended up being 10 points. It was not as close as 10 points. Right. And again, 10 points really isn't that close. But again, it's still Tennessee is their test is I don't know their schedule, but it's Georgia and Alabama. Are you on their level? Because Tennessee's right now you can put them there that level below.
Look at Georgia.
They need to get up and get on that level.
I think they're with Georgia and Florida. They're in that grouping. So
it's still Georgia and Alabama are here.
Right, that's true. That's true.
And they got to get there, and they got to beat one of them.
Same with Mississippi. Same thing.
It's like when's the last time Tennessee beat Alabama, or when's the last time Tennessee even beat Georgia? I know Georgia hasn't made it that long.
Tennessee did win a national championship the year after Peyton Manning left with T.
Yeah, we just mentioned my birthday. I was my 25th birthday. I wasn't even alive then. So yeah, that's a long time. They have to beat one of those teams. That's what they have to do. That's the next step. They've done all this. They've done all that. They've done all that. They're a top 10 team, top 5 team probably. Even.
I agree with you, but again, one of those teams is going to lose this week that you're talking about. So
Texas
it's irrelevant.
Too. They're all in the SEC. Right. Oh my God, Texas.
I just said that in the 5 of the top 6 are SEC teams.
I know, but it's
don't you listen?
And then
to me.
I talk. No, I don't. And then I talk, and I was like, whoa.
I'm looking at it right
That's
here.
Funny.
But then in reality, then in the Big Ten, Ohio State's 3, Oregon's 8, Michigan, Penn State's 9, and then USC and Michigan are 12 and 13, and only Miami from the ACC breaks the logjam of Big Ten and SEC teams. Next game, USC Michigan. We talked about it earlier. Thoughts?
Welcome to, and I said this last year on the podcast. J. Trev loved when I said it. Welcome to the Big Ten, USC. I mean, you just lost the game where the other team threw for 35 yards. Welcome to the Big Ten. That's what Michigan. Again, that's what I kept telling myself. That's what I thought Michigan would do against Texas. Texas is obviously better than USC, but you know what? Play good defense, run the football. It's Big Ten. Great win. Awesome win.
They both Schembechlered them by just running the ball all night. And they're going to be. As they play teams that are bigger, Michigan's going to. I hate Michigan. We're going to go. Okay, yeah, we're done with it. The other game I had on my notes was Utah versus Okie State, which was their big game in the Big 12. Utah going to the Big 12. Did you have that on your list?
Yeah, Utah was smacking them, and then all of a sudden, the game was over. It ended 22-19. You want to talk about a score? That was not a 3-point game. Utah looks really good. That was with their backup quarterback. Correct. But again, Rising, it's their backup quarterback has pretty much the starter for that team because he's always going to be hurt. But yeah, that's good. If Rising's healthy, I mean they're going to win the Big 12.
The reason I like
because Kansas State lost too, I saw.
Yeah, the reason I like that is because the coach for Oklahoma State's an asshole, and he was making fun of how old Whittingham was, and he was an old man like my age. He's a little older than me. I just don't like Mike Gundy. Those were the special ones I had on my list. What else did you want? Anything else?
So I had the lock off with Kevin. I smoked him. Cam Ward is phenomenal for Miami. Miami looks great. Miami doesn't play Clemson, I don't think, which I would have loved to see, but hopefully we get that as the ACC championship,
game, yeah.
And that'll be they both could. Well, no, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Clemson, but that I think I'd like to see them play Clemson. They're probably going to go undefeated, right? They're like Florida and Florida State are their rivalry. Ooh, cool. Those are too easy. They're going to probably go undefeated. So they look really good, and that was not even close. It was 18.5. Kevin had it. The Danny Boy Kane lock of the blah blah blah. It was Danny Boy Kane's birthday. They were obviously going to kill him. They destroyed them 50-15.
Well, again, the ACC a little weaker. Although, shout out to Clemson, who's really Dabo's turned it around. They're playing much better right now. They might be the the better team.
They got beat by Georgia.
The problem again comes down to in the ACC is like Pitt and Syracuse, all those teams, and North Carolina got beat by James Madison, who scored 50 points in the first half against them. So I don't know what else to say about that one. Do you have any other games on that list?
No, not really. No, well, let's play Kevin, see what he was going on with him in his week, and then we'll look ahead to next week.
Have you listened to Kevin yet?
No, I have not. This is the first time I almost think I'm blind listening, but I did send him questions this morning.
How long?
He went home at lunch. Probably 4 minutes.
Okay, let's go. Got 4 minutes.
So you know what you need to do? We're probably not going to interrupt this that much, so you just need to relax, and we're going to play it.
I got to relax?
Yeah.
I got to sit here and look interested. I'll do my...
No, keep the camera on you, because
I'll do my Kamala Harris with Donald Trump. It's like him talking to Trump.
Yeah, real cool.
Go. I don't hear anything. Go, Kev. Can I speak?
Happy birthday to the co-host of this podcast and my fantasy baseball championship opponent, Jack Boyle. His bulk pitchers did really well last night and pissed me off. Credit to him on a good strategy there. This is going to be a dogfight in these final days for the title. Also, you guys...
I said we weren't going to interrupt, but we have to.
Oh, my God.
You know what's funny?
Already.
And this is going to be... You used to every podcast. I never wanted to talk about it. Every podcast you bring up fantasy baseball. I notice you don't bring it up anymore. Because you were eliminated, me versus Kevin. Let's go.
It's a shit show.
Let's talk about Woj last week. That is a move I cannot respect more, and I'm so happy for him. If I was in his position and I had a similar offer at Xavier, for example, I would do that in 2 seconds. Go Bonnies, go Andrew Nicholson, and just incredibly happy for Woj. And before addressing college football, Jack wants me to talk about Arsenal.
I don't know.
I'll just say this. I have never, ever been a blame the refs guy, but they have cost us at least 4 points this year and could have cost us more. While Jack's team is drawing 0-0 to Crystal Palace and is in purgatory in the middle of the Premier League table, we're out here beating Tottenham away in the North London derby without our club captain and our £100 million defensive midfielder, and then taking City to the last second of the game after another pathetic refereeing display. I'll just say this. That match is the biggest domestic league match in the sport this year. And you're going to send off a guy for kicking the ball away in frustration after committing a foul in the first half? Get out of here. Get out of here. And myself and all Arsenal fans are demanding answers from the PGMOL and never want to see the face of Michael Oliver and Chris Kavanagh ever again.
Sore loser.
If we won that match against City, guys, that would have been probably my favorite win ever as an Arsenal fan. That goal is the worst against us that I've ever seen in my 11 years. And we've fought against all the odds so far this year. Oh, my God,
Kevin, you got 4 minutes. I don't want to hear about Arsenal.
Forward. The whole world, the PGMOL, the Norway national team coach, Jack Boyle, Chris Greco, and all the other haters, they're against us. And I cannot wait. To win the title this year.
What's the PGMOL?
Okay, first off, it's like the refs. First off, because we just... I just got called a hater. Chris Greco's a hater. We'll have to get both of them in the studio. He's a hater. They're haters. I'm not a hater.
You called me a hater.
I was upset when Man City scored that goal. I've been rooting for Arsenal. Kevin's just an idiot. He's a disgrace. He's a disgrace of a fan. So don't give me that. Oh, you're rooting for your team in purgatory. Kevin literally has videos talking about how he wishes he wasn't a soccer fan. Literally, these videos. I used to wake up when we sucked and we were so good, and now I don't even have joy anymore. I woke up this morning for the Man City game and I wasn't even excited. So don't say I'm a hater and don't say I'm crap. He's a horrible fan.
Now
I really hope they lose the league, and it sucks. I have to root for Man City to win their 5th title in a row because this guy sucks as a fan.
Hey,
all right, we're going to college football.
No, are we ever going to college football? Can we please go see Manchester City Stadium when we get there?
No. Okay. No.
Jack and I are taking a trip to Manchester at the end of the month, at the end of December, November. Go.
College football.
Oh, my God.
On to college football. I'll start off with the Friday night game, and for us Big Red guys, that was tough. Nebraska losing to Illinois. A well-coached Illinois team, Brett Bielema, Belichick guy. But that hurt. That hurt. And I think the takeaway there is this is a long-term project at Nebraska. I still think they're a top 25 team this year, and they'll get into a respectable bowl game. They'll still be fun to watch. But, yeah, go Big Red. Go Big Red. USC Michigan, that was a major win for Michigan. I'm still a huge doubter of theirs. I don't think that they have a quarterback that can throw the ball. And I think that away games will be incredibly challenging for them. That was a huge missed opportunity from USC to build their resume. They still have a relatively easy schedule the rest of the way in the Big Ten, so maybe they can make a run at the playoff. But that was a tough one. That was a tough one to lose for them. In terms of Tennessee, they annihilated Oklahoma. They're extremely legit. I think they're one of the 5 basically locks to make it in the college football playoff from the SEC. I have them. I have Georgia, Bama, Ole Miss, and Texas as near locks. And then on to the Big 12, Utah beating Oklahoma State. Jack took this off the agenda last week, and I was kind of upset now, especially now, because I would have said last week that Utah is my pick to win the Big 12. Now that's like incredibly obvious because Arizona, Kansas State, and Oklahoma State all don't look up to par. In terms of next week, as a preview, there's Notre Dame, Louisville. If you guys remember last year, Notre Dame lost away to Louisville, and that kind of ruined their season. And if they lose again to them this year, it will also ruin their season. So I think they'll win, and then in Marcus Freeman fashion, they'll win this and then lose at home against Stanford next week, and then he should get fired. The other big game, obviously, guys, is Georgia at Bama. I love Bama this year. I love Milroe. I hate Georgia. I hate Carson Beck. I still think Georgia wins. Kalen DeBoer has never dealt with this type of game before. Kirby has time and time again, and has lost to Saban time and time again.
So I
think this is the time that he finally wins against Bama. Lastly, onto the picks. I just continue to be an absolute joke of a better.
I second
USF looked great in the first quarter and really in the first half, and then just completely fell apart. Miami is so good, guys. I think they're easily the lock for the ACC bid, as long as they don't choke in the championship game. But yeah, incredible team. So now I am 0-4 on locks and 23, 32, and 1 on the year in picks. It's a disaster.
How much money is he lost?
I really thought about giving myself a suspension this week.
I would.
But here's my lock. I have Ole Miss minus 17.5 at home versus Kentucky. This is a throwback to last year. I'm going back to old reliable, my guys, Lane Kiffin, Jackson Dart. If you're a listener last year, you remember me raving about this team, and I still love them. I still love them, even without Judkins this year. So, yeah, that's my pick. See you guys.
All right. So I have Ole Miss. Then he's picking Georgia with the spread, right? That's what he said?
I wasn't really listening to that part.
So I got to give him Georgia +2.
So we're doing locks. We had the lock off last week. I was trying to pick between two locks this week.
That's one of them?
One of them was one of them was Kentucky plus, I think it was 18 at the time. It was plus 18. So I guess I'll go with the other one. My lock of the week this week. So I'm against Kevin in that game. He's going to be 0-5. Kentucky's going to cover that. They almost beat Georgia.
Right.
And again, that's not how you should be, but they're going to cover that game. I like Illinois is going to Penn State. I think it could be Penn State's whiteout game. It's at night, 110,000.
You taking Penn State minus?
No. Guess how many points they're giving me with Illinois, that quarterback's phenomenal. I'm
17.5.
19.
So you're going to go Illinois plus 19?
Yeah, with that quarterback and that coach, I'm excited to root for them. They beat me last week. We're going this week.
Okay, and then finally, what Chris has got Indiana minus 7.
What is Chris's record? I don't know.
Chris is the same as me. He's undefeated. He's one less than me.
What are you?
I'm like 4-0. He's 3-1.
3-0?
3-0.
Okay.
And you're 3-1.
3-1, and Kevin's 0-4.
Yeah. So you're going with Chris has got Indiana minus 7. I don't know who Indiana's playing. We'll have to figure that out. Chris didn't tell me. And then I'm going to go with Notre Dame minus the 6.5 against Louisville because, like I said, that's a must-win game. And I think that's just a game that I want to piss Kevin off. Georgia, Alabama, real quick. He picked. Who do you like?
I like Alabama. He said he loves Alabama this year. Did he really pick Georgia?
He said Georgia.
All right, I like Alabama. That's at Alabama. That was another. You know what? That could have been a lock of mine as well because they're getting 2 points at home. I like Alabama.
Okay, and Chris likes Georgia minus the 2.
I don't like Georgia this year.
And then I have to. So I got Notre Dame as my lock, and then on the game against, I'm going to go with you in Alabama. I think Alabama's going to be better. Georgia's not really played great. But again, it's a meaningless game because they're both going to make the tournament anyway. But Jack and Jim have Alabama, and then
I think Kevin at Alabama.
Kevin, no, if we listen
all
to
right,
it,
whatever.
We'll allow him to update that. Finally, we have one other thing we have to talk about college football.
Yeah, cool.
And you know what that is?
Yeah, Temple won.
T for Temple U University. Right. Fight for the chair in there. I think we're out of the bottom 10, which is awesome. Maddox Trujillo, remember the name, will be in the NFL next year. 64-yard field goal to end the half after Utah State drove all the way down the field to take.
He'll be in the NFL.
He will be in the NFL.
Yeah, that's like Ficken. He can get drafted.
I will tell you right now. Next year.
Nah.
Next year, Madison Trujillo in the NFL.
No way.
Next year,
he'll be a starting kicker in the NFL. He'll be one of 32.
He will one of 32. Maddox Trujillo in the NFL.
No, that's your Sam Ficken moment.
I don't give a shit.
Sam kicking Ficken. All right.
So and just
let's go to the NFL.
Shout out to Temple House. NFL's next.
I got all these games. I just want to go through all the games.
That's what we're going to do. First of all, I want to ask you a question before we go.
No, or we could.
How many bad teams are there?
A million.
I got 20 to 25 bad or mediocre teams.
Okay, so we started off. We had the Thursday night game. That was New England versus the Patriots.
Patriots absolutely suck.
New England versus the Jets. So I have a quick. So I have boring and Rodgers great. If he plays like that, they're a Super Bowl contender. He was phenomenal.
And I'm going with the Patriots don't win anymore.
He looks like he could play another 5-10 years. He looked out of this world good.
He did look good. I agree there. Okay.
And the Patriots just boring, and that defense is good for the Jets. Like I said, if Rodgers, but again, Rodgers always he'll pee on himself in the playoffs, or he'll get hurt.
Next game.
New York Giants beat the Cleveland Browns. I have one word written, and it's just rapist. Get that guy out of here. What's going on?
Hey, and Daniel Jones actually played well. So
yeah.
Both New York teams
not
won.
a rapist, but the other guy.
Those teams are part of my 2026 bad team.
Yeah, but just get the contract was the biggest mistake in one of the history of sports.
Okay, go. Who next?
Vikings versus the Texans. I have LOL Stroud. After he was acting all cool against Caleb Williams last week, he deserved a humbling like that. That's the worst maybe game he's ever played. Vikings look good.
So does it come down
Darnold.
does it come down to Sam Darnold actually has the right coach? He's in the right system and he can win.
Well, don't trash on Matt Rule like that.
I am.
Okay, but
Sam
don't. You're a Matt Rule hater.
I am a Matt Rule hater.
We're not going to talk about that.
Vikings are undefeated. Go.
Philadelphia Eagles beat the Saints.
Oh, we're not going to talk about that.
Derek Carr is Derek Carr. They were overrated, their offense. The murders are back in Louisiana. Did you see that? Like they went like a record 18 days without a murder in New Orleans. It was because the Saints were losing, and the murder happened before the game. But Sirianni's just an idiot, and I've said that all along.
Sirianni deserved to lose that game. He kept, who was it? Was it Greg Olson? I don't know who the announcer was.
It was.
Kept talking about that's the way he wants to play. And all of a sudden he left like 9 points on the board because he's an idiot. Mm-hmm. And he's gone. He's one of the guys on the chopping block.
Steelers beat the Chargers 20-10. So for this, I have the Steelers are a pain to the defending AFC runner-ups. They're going to be a pain. They're just a pain team to play. They're a pain for the Ravens. And the Chargers, I think, are going to be a pain those two games for the AFC champions, the Chiefs. Just two teams that are they're not in that bad team category. They're good teams.
I agree with you. And
maybe not.
My take on the Steelers is simple. Again, you put a quarterback named Fields into a program which is good and solid, and he's a good quality player, right? It's just like Sam Darnold. Get them away from these coaches who just absolutely suck and put them into the system which is going to work, and he's dominant. Patriots should have traded for him, taken Marvin number 3. That's my take for that game. Go.
The Colts beat the Bears 21-16. I just have not great Caleb because my take he's going to be a Hall of Famer, but that was not great.
And those two teams just mediocre. Who cares? I don't care. I won't watch
this is the next one. Denver Broncos 26, Tampa Bay Buccaneers 7. I have this game actually happened. Who cares?
I agree with you, except for my boy Todd Bowles as the coach.
That's a blowout.
and that was unbelievable. You know what? Again, here you go. Nick's a rookie quarterback.
Yeah, okay.
We'll see what happens.
That was so J-Trev's bust.
Sean Payton and J.
So wait, did Bo Nix play good?
Oh,
J-Trev's 2 busts were Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels.
And they were both phenomenal this week. Okay, go. What's next?
The Packers 30, Titans 14. I really don't care, even though the Packers are a pretty good team.
And LaFleur's a quarterback whisperer, too.
The Titans
That's another
stink.
one. LaFleur's a quarterback whisperer.
How about this?
What?
The Panthers beat the Raiders. Vegas, are you kidding me? That's an embarrassing loss. Really.
I think Vegas' coach is the
Dalton.
worst coach in football. And I think the second worst coach, worst coach of all is the coach at Carolina. The first round pick and all the capital they spend for him, done. The redhead comes in, Dalton, and wins that game big. Both those teams just absolutely suck. Go.
Yeah, Vegas that's a pathetic loss. Honestly, it's a pathetic loss. The Seahawks killed the Dolphins. I hate the Dolphins. I've thought the Dolphins were frauds ever since they didn't even try in that playoff game at Arrowhead last year when it was like negative 20 degrees. That's gross. The Seahawks are a sneaky good team. I think the Patriots, actually, the losses that they have are to relatively decent teams, so that's all right. The Seahawks they're a sneaky good team. The NFC West is 4 good teams, 4 teams that can play good football.
Pretty good football. And my opinion on that game is that if a kid named Boyle comes into quarterback for you, you're in big trouble, and that's what happened with Miami. Tua's done. I hate that coach.
Yeah,
I hate it. He's such a fraud. He's just like the fraud from the next game we're going to talk. One of the next games we're going to talk about.
Well, I don't
think fraud. Fraud.
I think this guy's a fraud here. The Lions did beat the Cardinals. Marv played good again. The Lions are a good team, but again, that coach, you're going nowhere with him.
The Lions will make the Super Bowl this year.
Okay. The Rams beat the 49ers 27-24.
Late.
Great win. Stafford phenomenal. Looked like he's healthy, and McVay's a better coach than Shanahan.
Well, can Shanahan coach in the fourth quarter?
McVay is a better coach than Shanahan.
In the fourth quarter?
I don't know.
He lost the Patriots. His defense lost the Patriots in that Super Bowl. He lost to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, and this time he's got Stafford with no weapons at all.
Lost to the Chiefs twice in the Super Bowl.
No weapons at all.
The Ravens beat the Cowboys. That's one of those not as close as it ended. The Ravens were killing them. The Cowboys came back a little bit late.
I got only two words.
How fast is Lamar?
I got 2 words.
Fast.
That's funny.
That's Brady. That was one of the best. Brady's not. It's not getting better really. He's just not. He'll never be good at it. He's no Peyton Manning. But his line when he's like, "How fast?" It's like one of those Michael Scott. Sometimes I start a sentence and I don't know what I'm going to say. That's exactly what happened to him there. It happens to me sometimes in the podcast, but it was just funny. How fast is Lamar? And he had nothing to say. He paused for a second. Fast.
We were watching that game, and when he said that, I think we both started laughing out loud. I got 2 words for the Cowboys. You ready for it? Bill Belichick. Go.
Well, did you see Belichick on his show or whatever on Monday was like, they have enough talent, certainly.
Yeah.
Wait, I think
Lamar's a huge part. Ravens are in shotgun. Lamar's a huge part of this running game. Just too hard to stop. How fast is Lamar? Fast.
It's so good. It's so
awesome.
good.
I'm glad you got that.
The NFL posted that they posted the quote like it was like it was like Shakespeare said it.
Shakespeare.
Okay, the Chiefs beat the Falcons 22-17. This is my game because this is my team. These are I watch the whole Chiefs game when they play. 3-0. They've sucked on offense. Their defense is unbelievable. Spags after the first drive. I'd love to know because they always give up a touchdown or points in the first drive. After that, I mean they were fantastic. Chiefs are poor in the red zone. Mahomes has been poor, but my God, some of these guys they got on defense. Woo.
Kelsey's on his last legs. The Chiefs.
Rice.
If you think about Chiefs, they won 2 Super Bowls in a row. The last, actually both of them, because their defense is so good.
Yeah.
Right. And Spags is underrated. Mahomes has got to figure out this whole what he wants to do, but if you win good or you win bad, you win ugly or you win pretty, you still win. They are 3-0 and they are the favorites, except for the next team.
Well, the thing with Mahomes though is it's if he just decides what he will do in the playoffs, he just won't turn the ball over.
Right.
He's turning the ball over right now. He just won't do that. He can flip a switch and just not turn the ball over.
Right.
He might not have explosive plays and all that. And where the Chiefs are and where he is, he's got what Brady had his first couple years in the league, where his defense is the best defense in the NFL. So he's riding that in his prime, which is it's unbelievable the situation he's found himself in.
Oh, okay.
And the team building around him,
yep.
Everything like the Chiefs is like the Patriots right now. It's weird.
Yep.
And they just win. They keep winning.
Everything's like the Patriots.
Penalties and all that. Whatever.
The irony is, it's like the first generation of Patriots that won the 3 Super Bowls, all with defense and a competent quarterback. Yeah. It doesn't turn the ball over. The next game, I think
he's best quarterback in the NFL.
Hopefully, the next game is the game which one might be the favorite to win the Super Bowl.
Well, the Bills are much better than I thought they were going to be.
Yes.
Trevor Lawrence sucks. Urban Meyer is the big winner here because he is looking better and better every day. That the Jaguars just absolutely stink. So Notre Dame should hire him. But yeah, the Bills, man, they look good. Keon Coleman looked good. That was a big risk they took by giving the Chiefs Worthy and getting Coleman trading back a little bit. Yeah, the Bills. Josh Allen's phenomenal, and I've said that forever.
And number 3 got his first interception, Bar Hamlin.
Yeah. But Trevor Lawrence
on an absolutely horrible pass from Trevor Lawrence. And the final game.
Yeah, I got whoa, Jaden, whoa. I mean, wow, was he good. Fantastic. The Commanders beating the Bengals. You're going to trash on Burrow because you don't like him, but Burrow played pretty good in that game, perfectly fine.
Trash on Burrow.
You got to cut the hair, obviously. Like I keep saying, it's embarrassing that you still have the freaking haircut. I'm just sick of him.
Right.
He's more interested in fashion and all that, but he played fine. The Bengals just aren't any good.
I think you're right. Their defense is absolutely crap, but I'll tell you something. Jade Daniels, wow. He was phenomenal. And if they can keep him upright, if he learns how to slide, I think they're going to be competitive in that division. It's amazing. Again, here you bring in a coach who was average at one place, but he's got the right philosophy, and hopefully he'll take care of him that way. That's a good NFL run.
RG3 was really good for a year, too, and he got hurt. So, again, the thing with Daniels is I think he'll be a good quarterback, but the way it's
like Tua and Lamar.
Flies around. But Lamar's not gotten hurt.
No.
He's done a good job. But Lamar does not take hits, really.
Right, he tries not, but Tua takes hits.
Tua doesn't. Tua's not a player like that.
I got four goes. That just we talked about it. Teams and coaches in trouble. First person, Mike McCarthy of the Cowboys. Yes or no?
Definitely, sure. But again, Jerry Jones is lost. He's lost. Okay. He's lost.
The next team you mentioned it, the Bengals. I think their defense is crap. We get down 0-3, you're in big trouble. Is there a way out for them? Because they do have a quality quarterback, but
they should just trade one of the receivers now.
But they're not going to get shit for him.
Yeah, I know.
The Panthers and the mess that they built.
Nothing you can do. I saw the owner was on the field the other day.
Well, it's the owner's an idiot.
Yeah,
right.
Horrible. Waste.
And
of
then
time.
finally, Nick Sirianni.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we need to say?
No,
about Nick
to be
Sirianni?
honest, the Eagles, like, the fact is they're not looking horrible. They're 2-1. They could be 3-0. Like, we'll see what happens with them.
But the Eagles' problem right now is they're both big.
The quarterback's
receivers.
not that good.
The
Like,
receivers are hurt though. The big receivers are both hurt.
and you're seeing that the quarterback is really not that good.
He's
if
like
he
Joe
doesn't
Burrow.
Surrounded by elite talent.
No, Joe Burrow.
We have not seen Joe Burrow play without elite talent. He played with the 2 best receivers in the NFL when he was in college.
Okay, there are.
And now he's got 2 great receivers.
There
on
are
his team now.
5 3-0 teams. Real quick.
Chiefs.
Fools or not fools? Bills.
Good.
Bills good?
Yeah.
All right. Steelers.
Good. They're all good.
Well,
they're not going to win. They're not a Super Bowl contender, but they're good.
Okay, that's so good. Chiefs.
Good.
Now, are you worried a little bit about their offense?
I've never felt better about anything. Well, in football, because the Celtics, we'll talk about it. No one's felt better. They're going to win the Super Bowl easily.
Okay.
Easy.
Okay.
No, they might have a couple. They're just going to win. They know what it's. They have it. They just have it.
Who are they? Is Buffalo good enough to beat them?
Yes.
Okay. Good. Vikings with Sam Darnold. The Vikings.
I think
with Sam
Buffalo.
Darnold.
Buffalo might need to be at home though, and you know what? It really doesn't matter. They both can win any. No, I don't think that even matters where they play that game.
Is
Either
there
team can win.
anybody
But the
else?
Chiefs will win.
The Chargers going to give them trouble? You think in the West?
No, they might play. They could beat them in a game, but no.
Okay. On to
And what's the other undefeated team?
Sam Darnold and the Vikings.
They're good. We'll see what they do when they play Green Bay.
That division's tough though. Green Bay and Detroit are tough teams.
And then is the Seahawks undefeated?
Seahawks are undefeated.
They're
with
good,
Mike
but
McDonald.
again, they're in a tough division.
Mike McDonald.
Toughest division in football, probably.
The other question is the Cowboys, the 49ers.
They'll be
what a
fine.
gag. The 49ers, I still come back to, and I've said this all along, you take McCaffrey out of the lineup, and that quarterback's a shit
Yeah,
bomb.
but they killed the Jets. I can't stop thinking about because I watched a lot of that game. It's like, and I just have that stuck in my brain right now is how good they looked that game.
Okay, before we got 2 other things to go over, baseball and basketball.
No,
you want to go?
No baseball.
No, we got to do baseball.
We're running out of time. I don't want to talk about baseball. Next week we'll do the playoffs. There's still another week.
I want to go baseball. I want to go to the Red Sox real quick because I've had some.
We'll do that next week when the season's
over. What do you
over.
do? Let me ask this. The season's been over for a week.
Yeah, but we're not doing this right now. There's so much going on. I don't want to talk. Oh, whatever. Go.
Well, why do we want to talk about the Celtics?
Go. Because the Celtics are relevant.
Who's the most? What player on that team is most likely to get traded for a pitcher?
Marcelo Meyer.
Okay, who's the player on the Major League roster most likely to play for a pitcher?
I don't know.
Do you think? I think it's Cassius and Duran. By the way, those are 2 guys
but
get your most.
I don't think Duran's anywhere going to get you anything like super good
because of his age.
Yeah,
I think Cassius.
If you want to get if you want to get an ace, you trade Meyer.
I'm looking at their depth chart here, and they got 50,000 DHs.
Yeah,
they got like O'Neill and Yoshida and Cassius.
Well, Yoshida, they
Devers.
just get rid of whatever.
Devers.
However,
Devers?
dumb,
okay,
whatever.
Okay, let's finish this out because Jack did beat me in fantasy. Congratulations to him. It's shit the way we do our playoffs, but that's
okay.
Devers, what do you think? I want final opinion on Devers now.
Good player. He really sucked at the end of the year. He's got to get in better shape, I think.
Okay.
He's faded off every year.
If you could move him, would you move him now?
Not even close.
Okay. If you could, would you move Trevor Story now?
Dad, stop.
you want Trevor?
We're not asking me like rhetorical questions.
So you'd move Trevor?
Yeah. I'd drive him to the airport.
All right. So the funny part about the Red Sox is the collapse happened with the offense, not with the pitch. Pitching actually did relatively well. I think they're too left-handed. I think they need a number 1 guy or a number 2 guy. I thought Bello pitched well towards the end, but he's a 3. Houck's a 3 or 4. So I think they got to bring a starting pitcher in here and make it worth my while to keep my season tickets. They're little bastards. Spend some money. Just like I feel like I'm living in Liverpool with those Liverpool Reds. So we'll see. All right, on to your favorite subject of the whole wide world. They're back. Do you have audio? Did you get audio?
There was too much. I didn't prepare enough for the Celtics. I mean, God, they just had their media day and they went first for everyone in the NBA. It's just like I think Chris Forsberg said it. The buy-in in the facility is off the charts. Every quote, I couldn't get enough of it. It was like another one would come in, another one. Oh, fist pump. Oh my God, I'm ready to go. This team's going to be so much fun. They are going to be so good. Tatum said something today that was like, if you're a Celtics fan, it's one of the greatest quotes you've ever heard. I don't know if he actually thought of this or he has a PR team that told him to say it. Did you see what he said about They asked, like, his motivation, like, is anyone you motivated from that Olympic stuff? He's like, I'm not giving anyone the satisfaction of motivation. Do you see what he said, though? Who he said he's motivated by one thing right now? Do you see what he said he's motivated by?
No.
I couldn't believe when I saw this.
What's he motivated by? He's motivated by he wants his son to see him win another championship.
No, he's motivated by Larry Bird.
Really?
Because Larry Bird's the best player that ever put on the uniform, and that's who he's chasing. Like, I heard that, I was like, oh my God.
That's a phenomenal answer.
Unbelievable. He literally was like, I'm chasing Larry Bird.
Except for there's a guy named Bill Russell.
No, well, if you're nitpicking, but
no, I agree. That's great. As we get ready,
it's going to be so much fun. Jaylen Brown, what a leader Jaylen is. Like, I remember, Marcus Smart left. It's like, where's the leadership going to come from? Where's the leadership going to come from? Jaylen Brown is he's taking it to a different level as leadership. He's cocky as hell. We're going to run the offense through Peyton when we play Detroit, and he's going to score 30. They're awesome. They're awesome.
Now, I think what's the biggest?
Nothing.
No, there's one thing. I want to see if you get it. What's the biggest impediment now to this dynasty in the making? What do you think it is? And I know what it is. So I want to think. You asked me the question, what he said. What do you think the biggest impediment is?
Right now, nothing. Maybe 3 years from now, it's always going to be Tatum and Brown's relationship.
I think it's
and
worse.
they're as close, but it always.
I understand with that.
There's always just the drama that they will get just even more and more with the if they win 2-3 in a row. All the talk, say they win again, like next time this year, if they win 2 in a row, all the talk is going to be about Tatum and Brown and like those two and who's the guy and all. That's all, and they just I hope they'll be able to deal with it. They're going to deal with it. They deal with it fine now. They'll be fine.
Okay,
but that's the only thing I can think of being a threat. And then obviously, like, what are you going to say? Health? That's a threat to anything.
No, you're way away.
Go. The owner.
Ownership.
Oh,
yeah.
Right.
What happens?
Yeah, but the owner. The thing.
What happens? I think it's a problem because there's an uncertainty in it.
Drew Holiday's 34 years old. It's like in 4 years from now, Drew Holiday. It's like it's not gonna be as long as Tatum and Brown are here for another 10 years. I'm happy. That's all. That's all I can ask for. And you know what? I'm guaranteed. I'm guaranteed at least this upcoming year with this team again, and I'm guaranteed. I think 2 years from now. At least Porzingis, Brown, Tatum, and White. Right. Like, at least. And they'll be even with the new owner. So I'm guaranteed these guys for I can't. I'm not worried. I'm just, I want to play the Knicks on opening night and just obliterate them. And just win like 20, go like 20 and 1 or something.
Wants to obliterate
I just want to kill teams. I want to kill teams like we did last year. But just, it'll feel different with knowing you're the champions. It'll just be more fun. Like the regular season last year was always stressful. If they made a mistake, if they lost a game late, it was, can this team do it? Now it's just going to be, did we really just lose that game? Ha.
How long do you sit Porzingis? What do you think? I think they sit him out till he's fully healthy.
Yeah, they're not going to let him play unless it's perfect. Brad Stevens said he's like way ahead of schedule. At the earliest date I would even think about letting him step on the court in a game is Christmas Day.
So that puts a lot of onus on. Al Horford's going to miss every other game. I would assume they're going to say so.
No, he'll just miss the back-to-backs.
But it's better to sit him anyway.
Well, he's not going to play for 35 minutes.
Does that mean Luke Kornet gets a lot more minutes?
Tillman, maybe. Tillman. Okay. And then they know they can play Tatum. They can run small lineups with Tatum as your big. They'll be fine. Okay. Honestly, they're so talented that they can play any lineup they want and create matchup problems without Porzingis. I mean, they didn't have him in the playoffs, so they went 16-3.
Right. I agree with that. So
they'll be all right.
Now, a lot of teams have changed. A lot of people are going to say that the Sixers are going to be great, the Knicks are going to be great, the Bucks are going to be great. Cleveland's running back the same unit. Indiana's back with the same unit. Which of those 5 teams, and I know what you're going to say, which of those 5 teams do you think will cause them the most problems to keep them from making the championship game?
So name those teams again.
I got
Go.
Pacers,
first one. Pacers. Who's Celtics have the 2 best players in that series.
Right.
Maybe even like 3 or 4. Maybe Holiday and White are better than Halliburton.
I think Halliburton might be better. Okay, so you have the Pacers. Second is Cleveland.
Best player in that series, probably the best 2 players in that series, Celtics.
Okay.
Right? My point here is the only series that's the only series where they have the best player, and that's the only team I fear if they're fully healthy. Giannis does something crazy. They create they can match up with you a little bit just because of him being such a matchup nightmare. Where it's like your team being a matchup nightmare, it ends up kind of getting flipped because he's such a freak.
So without Porzingis and Horford, The Sixers. What do you think? Without Horford, no Horford.
Yeah, don't even.
Embiid's not the best player on the floor.
If Horford gets
is Embiid
shot,
the best player on the floor?
No.
No. Okay.
Not even close.
Okay.
No.
Okay, so the Sixers.
Embiid,
So the Sixers, you don't worry about. Not at all.
The Sixers are not on my mind. I'd love to play them and beat them. I want to play them in like the first or second. That'd be great. No, Paul George, really?
Okay, and then the Knickerbockers of New York.
There is this guy who hated Paul George. It was a funny tweet I saw today. It was, would you rather be handed $1 million or be offered $50 million if you fought an NBA player and beat him? And this guy goes, just let me fight Paul George. I don't want any money. I hate that guy.
Oh, my God.
Paul George.
So the Knicks with the Knicks have added, the good news about the Knicks is I love kicking the Knicks' ass anyway, but now that they're Villanova North or whatever the hell they're calling them bastards, what do you think of the Knicks?
Did you see how we picked on Luka Doncic in the finals? Do you know what we do to Brunson in a playoff series?
I know.
Oh, my God.
I know. And I like Brunson, too, as a player. Brunson would fit in really well.
But everyone, he'd be the best player on the court. Yeah, okay. Fine.
Yeah,
you say that all you want. Brunson in a playoff series against us would be a joke. Like, again, Andrew Nembhard scared me more.
Right. So in the West Conference, who's the team you would fear?
Denver. Denver's the guy. Tatum even said that Denver's the team that he thought could match up with them. So it's Denver.
And that's it.
Yeah. They'll beat everyone else, right? Like
maybe
if the Thunder are like not the Thunder, the the Thunder are decent, but they'll end up beating the Thunder. Just the experience. Maybe, and this is a 5%. No, a 5% chance this team is fully healthy at the right time and playing good basketball, and they're healthy enough. Would be the Suns, but they'd beat the Suns.
The Suns.
Just they get talent.
They do have talent. But
they get length and talent.
Where did Westbrook end up going?
Denver.
Yeah,
you know what? Take Denver off the list because you're not losing to that guy.
And then the other two, Okie City's young, and they're thinking they're like the Celtics, but I don't think they match
picked up
well.
Caruso.
Right, and then,
he's a good wing defender.
We picked up Reading, Pennsylvania's own Lonnie Walker, so come on. And then the other team
he was like living on the streets? What was Pup doing? You should have taken him in.
Okay, let's...
who was the guy? What? The guy you took in that...
Brian Crum?
Yeah.
We don't have to talk... My father... Okay,
no, you're not telling the story. No, I don't want you to.
Oh, my God.
No.
He was a big brother.
No.
Just real quick. He was a big brother, and he beat the shit out of my brothers and I all the time. He was a pain in the ass. Then he hung himself in jail. I did get that one in without me on camera. I lost my train. Finally, Anthony Edwards. Does he ever shut the hell up?
No. No. There was no skilled players before Michael Jordan. That's all right. Whatever. They can't beat the Celtics, that team.
Okay, Guts Twins. Twins are choking, too. Before I'm going to let you get your little. We talked about Arsenal. Any other Premier League? Because we actually
tied in the Europa League today. I think
tied in the Europa League.
Man United. I actually this is one of the strangest runs of results we've had ever in my time. Because I think we're actually playing pretty good. We had an XG in the Premier League of 10, which is our expected goals based off the chances we're creating is 10. We've scored 5. So I think the goals will eventually come. We play Tottenham this weekend. It has to happen. It has to happen. But I think we're playing well. And then that Man City Arsenal thing, like I said, that was just a crazy game on Sunday. And the ref giving a red card for a second yellow card for kicking the ball away. This is the stupidest thing ever in the biggest game of the year. Like Kevin said, I'm not happy with Arsenal fans celebrate Man City's best player towards ACL. He's out for the year. I'm not thrilled with Arsenal fans just totally celebrating that, which is it's stupid. But we'll see. I don't know if Arsenal can score enough goals to win. Holland's going crazy. Holland's an asshole. The thing Holland has I'm going to leave after this. Holland's antics at the end of that match. Everyone's giving I like that. Those were unacceptable. I'm going to learn a lot about Arsenal's character because when Man City comes to the Emirates, which is where Arsenal play for the return fixture this year, he should be broken in half by someone.
All right, good. Can't wait.
If I were an Arsenal fan, I can't even tell. I'm mad.
I can't.
And I'm
wait.
not an Arsenal. If someone did that to a Man United, I would be.
Okay. Oh. I have a question. 2 questions. The guy that hurt himself, isn't he the guy that bitched about playing too much?
Yeah.
It's amazing. He complains about them playing too much. Somebody's going to get hurt. And then
do you know he has played, I think,
a lot of games.
Over his last 80 games for Man City, he's lost 1.
Wow.
The FA Cup final against Man United.
He's from Spain. I don't even have it on camera. You can do that. He's from Spain, right?
Yeah.
So he played in the Euros, too?
Great player. He's a defensive midfielder. He plays every minute for City.
Right.
It's a tough loss.
Like I said, I'm actually going to get to see Old Trafford in a couple weeks.
It's beautiful.
Going to see,
but it's horrible.
Going to see Everton.
Have you seen the new plant? The new
I
stadium
didn't see it, but
came out today.
I want to go to Etihad Stadium.
It's a toilet.
I want to
bowl.
go see Manchester City.
They're building the whole area up. It's a toilet bowl stadium, but it's going to be phenomenal. 100,000.
All right,
we'll have to go to that.
As we close it out here, our good friends, the Wilmington High School football team, lost last week, but I do want to give a shout out to one of the kids I coached, Connor Lovell. Had a very tough leg injury in practice. He's going to miss this rest of his senior year. So shout out to my friend Connor Lovell here from It All Boils Down to This. We appreciate everything he did. He's a great kid, 3-sport captain, but he's going to miss the season. So for Jack Boyle,
Yep.
I'm Jim Boyle. It All Boils Down to This, episode 51. We'll see you on down the road. Thanks for listening to this episode of It All Boils Down to This, recorded at WCTV studios in our hometown of Wilmington, Massachusetts. We are always open to any ideas, critiques, topics, and guests. So if anyone out there in podcast world needs to get a hold of us, we can be reached via email at jboyle22@comcast.net. Along with Jack Boyle, I'm Jim Boyle. Make sure to tune in to the next edition of It All Boils Down to This.